to the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, Hoops fans? Back at it with another New York Knicks video. It is the biggest day of the year for the New York Knicks, being that we're one of the 3 or 4 or 5 worst teams in the sport. And it is NBA trade deadline day, where the New York Knicks are trying to acquire as many assets as they possibly can for next year's roster. And the rumors have started to come out that a deal has been accepted between the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Clippers. The exact details of the trade are not official yet, but everything I am reading that it will be at least a first-round pick and Moe Harkless. I've also read other reports that the Knicks will be getting a second-round pick in addition to the first, but none of this is official yet. But I would expect they're getting at least a first-round pick. Now, that first-round pick will be a late first-round pick, being that it's the Clippers, and maybe it's a future, maybe it's this year. I don't know the specifics yet. We'll have to wait and see the full details of the trade. But this was a trade that the New York Knicks had to make. The New York Knicks have to make as many trades as they can. All these guys are on one-year deals for the most part outside of Julius Randle, and you should get what you can. I'm starting to read other rumors that the Knicks may make some other trades, and if they do, I'll have a video on it breaking it down. But anything you get is great at this point in time. You want to get as many assets as you can. Of course, they have the 2 future first-round picks from the Dallas Mavericks, along with what will presumably be early first-round picks in probably the next 2 years' drafts. So the Knicks continue to build through the youth movement. They continue to do the right thing. I heard some rumors that they may go out there and add D'Angelo Russell. I thought that was a horrible, horrible idea. I'm glad that never happened. The Knicks have to continue to build through the draft. It's not the right time yet to bring in free agents or to bring in, established stars through trades. It's just not the right time. Right now, you're one of the worst teams in the league. Continue to stay there, get your high draft pick, and continue to grow with R.J. Barrett, and hopefully he improves. But this is a good trade, and the Knicks got lucky when they got Marcus Morris. I'm going to pull the quote up in a second. But at the beginning of the year, if you remember correctly, Marcus Morris was initially a Spur. He pulled out of the trade and signed and signed a 1-year deal with the New York Knicks. This year he's having a great year. He's averaging 20 points, shooting 44% from the field because he's gotten an opportunity to be the guy with the Knicks, and he will go there and help the LA Clippers. As far as the Clippers go, well, the Clippers are in contention with the LA Lakers. Both teams were in on him. The Knicks supposedly wanted Kuzma, and the Lakers wouldn't budge. So because of that, Morris will now go to the Clippers and try to help Paul George and everybody else over there try to win an NBA title. And I definitely think it's very possible for the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and everybody else to go out there and win a title. Now, Morris does play a similar position to those two, but I'm sure that they'll make it work, and he's a very good player. And if you're a Clippers fan, obviously you also prevented him from going to the Lakers. Morris is still a very good player. He could stretch the floor. He could shoot the three, plays solid defense. He's a good hustle player. But, he was never going to stay with the Knicks, and it never made sense for the Knicks to keep him, being that he was on a 1-year deal. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year, and he was clearly just a mercenary to go and help a contending team win a championship. And Morris obviously has to be happy now that he's got an opportunity to win one. But there's Morris, and I just want to pull up the quote of exactly what's going on. Like I said, no deal from what I've read is official, but it's at least going to be a first-round pick, and it seems as if Moe Harkless will be on the Knicks. Now, the Knicks could elect to cut him or not. That I don't know yet. Harkless, of course, is a former St. John's alum. I'm a huge St. John's fan. I remember rooting for him. He played there for 1 year before being drafted by the Portland Trailblazers in the mid-first round. He's a small forward. I think he's 6'8". He can play both the 3 and the 4. But he's never been much, he had one decent year, I think, with the Blazers. But this year, I think he's only averaging about 5 points in limited capacity. He'll probably get a bigger role if the Knicks keep him. But here is the quote. The Knicks have agreed in principle to trade Marcus Morris to the Clippers, SNY's Ian Begley confirmed on Thursday, and there's a number of other people that are reporting on this. It is unknown what the exact return is for the New York Knicks, but Moe Harkless and a first-round pick at least are involved. And like I said, I also read that a second-round pick could be involved as well, and you want to try to get as many assets as you can. The Knicks were interested in Landry Shamet, but Begley reported earlier that the Clippers were unwilling to have him in the trade package. So there you go. And to me, this is what I wanted. And I hope they continue to do this. I think the trade deadline has a few more hours, and hopefully they continue to trade some of these guys on their team that teams may want. Obviously, you don't want to trade the young rookies, but the more players that you can get out of here and get assets for, the better. You could couple these assets and try to trade up in the draft and get maybe a higher first-round pick, higher second-round pick, things like that. And I'm sure that's what the Knicks will look to do as they continue to try to get younger and, have a brighter future. We're clearly not winning anything this year or next year. you might as well accumulate as many picks as you can. Morris was a rental. We all knew this was bound to happen at the beginning of the year unless they were in contention, and the Knicks are clearly not. So it's a win-win for both teams. The LA Clippers become a better basketball team. They get a better opportunity to compete for a championship, and the New York Knicks get their draft pick. As always, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.